Okay, so the recording has started. So let's start with the salutation to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. And 3 bows. 1, 2, 3. And now we are continuing with our reading of the Chulahatipadopama Sutta, the shorter discourse on the simile of the elephant's footprint. This is Majjhima Nikaya Sutta number 27. And at this point in the discourse, the Buddha is describing the sequential training of the monastic. And he's doing this as a sort of preparation for his explanation of how the simile of the elephant's footprint should be correctly applied. And so at this point, we've gone through, last week, we went through all of the minor trainings of the monastic person. And now we come to section 294, which deals with contentment. Okay, so reading now. So santuto hoti.
So santuto hoti.
Kaya parihari kena chivarena.
Kaya parihari kena chivarena.
Kuchi parihari kena pindapatena.
Kuchi parihari kena pindapatena.
Okay, so now it says that the monk is santuto, which means contented. And he's contented, contentment, if it has an object, the object comes in the instrumental case. So here he is contented with chivara. Chivara is the monastic robe. And the robe is said to be kaya parihari kena. So kaya means body. And there's a verb pariharati, which literally to carry around, to take around, but it has the extended meaning of to maintain, to support. And so the robe is for the purpose of supporting or maintaining the body, in other words, by covering the body. And he's also content with pindapatena. So pindapata is food, but specifically it's food obtained on alms round. So we say alms food. In alms food has the purpose. Kuchi is the belly or stomach, and pariharika is what maintains, what supports. So literally content with a robe that supports the body, or we could say that protects the body, and he's content with alms food to sustain his stomach. But actually the alms food sustains the body. Okay, then continuing. So yena yeneva pakamati.
So yena yeneva pakamati.
Samadayeva pakamati.
Samadayeva pakamati.
Okay, so here the instrumental yena is being used in the sense of direction. Like when we read in the suttas, yena bhagavatenu pasankami, in the direction where the Buddha was, there he approached. And here when it's duplicated, it means in whatever direction, or simply wherever. So, and then pakamati means sets out or departs or goes forth. So wherever he sets out, then we have again Pakamati. He sets out samadaya. So this is an absolutive abridged with the emphatic ava. Samadaya is having taken along. So the idea here is wherever he goes, in whatever direction he sets out having taken along with him his robe, and of course he doesn't take the alms food along with him, but he takes his alms bowl for collecting the food. So the image here is of a wandering monk who is living at a level of the utmost simplicity. His only possessions would be his robes and his alms bowl, and maybe a few other simple requisites, which will be packed into the alms bowl or maybe carried in a little shoulder bag. And he doesn't have to carry around anything else. He doesn't need a bed. He'll sleep wherever he finds himself. Maybe he'll have a kind of extra cloth, which he'll spread out and sleep. And a strainer for straining the water, and a razor for shaving his beard and hair. But otherwise, that's all. So wherever he sets out having taken along only these things, the robe and his alms bowl. And then this is illustrated by a simile. Sayatapi nama,
Sayatapi nama,
Paki Sakuno,
Paki Sakuno,
Yena Yeneva Deti,
Yena Yeneva Deti,
Sapata Barova Deti,
Sapata Baro Vadeti,
Evameva Bhikkhu Santuto Hoti,
Evameva Bhikkhu Santuto Hoti,
Kaya Pariharikena Chivarena,
Kaya Pariharikena
Chivarena,
Chivarena,
Kuchi Pariharikena Pindapatena.
Kuchi Pariharikena Pindapatena.
Okay, so the simile, it's introduced by the word Sayatapi Nama, just as. And then we have two words that both mean bird. So Sakuna is the usual word for bird, and the word Paki comes from the word Paka, which means a wing, and that which has wings, which possesses wings, is Pakin. And then the masculine nominative for that is Paki. So sometimes it might be translated a bird on the wing, but Paki itself can also mean bird. So just as a bird, then wherever it flies, so the verb deti is to fly, it flies sa pata baro. So it flies, sa is with, and pata it's another word meaning wing, and baro is burden. And so wherever the bird goes, it flies with its wings as its only burden. So the bird, if it wants to travel south during the winter, it doesn't have to pack pack any suitcases. It doesn't have to bring along its laptop. Doesn't have to bring along a case, one of these little packs where you put your toiletries, your soap, and your shampoo and your shaving cream. But when the winter comes, the bird just takes off with its wings as its only burden. So in the same way, the monk is content with the robe to cover the body and with his alms food to sustain the belly, the stomach. And then wherever he sets out taking these along with him. And so continuing, wrapping up. So imina ariyena sila kandena samanagato.
So imina ariyena sila kandena samanagato.
Ajatang anavajja sukang pati sangvedeti.
Ajatang anavajja sukang pati sangvedeti.
And so is he. And then we have imina with this, and the pronoun qualifies sila kandena, that is literally would be the aggregate of virtuous conduct, and then is described as ariyena, noble. So with this noble aggregate of virtuous conduct, or possessing this noble aggregate of good conduct, he pati sangveti, he experiences anavajja sukhang, that's a blameless happiness. Ajatang, internally, he experiences internally a blameless happiness. So often we meet in the suttas two opposed words. Savajja and anavajja. So savajja means that which is with blame. In other words, what is blameworthy or blamable. And anavajja means that which is blameless. So in this case, he experiences a blameless happiness, a blameless bliss. Okay, so any questions here? No questions. Okay, then we,
Bhante,
yeah.
does Pindapata mean, so Pinda is the ball of rice, right? So
Yeah.
does Pindapata mean alms food here? Or I thought it meant the whole activity of going for alms round or giving or receiving alms and everything. So it Pindapat, so the monk carries the chibara and the Pindapata, or just the alms bowl. That would make sense to me.
Yeah, no,
And they
but
don't carry the food, right?
yeah, but now the pindapata is the term for alms food. The pinda is a ball or a lump, and the word pata originally meant a falling down.
Right.
So I guess the idea is that when one goes on alms food, then people will take the spoon of the food, and then the food falls from the spoon into the alms bowl. So anyway, it comes to take on the meaning of alms food. Yeah, the word,
not the verb of going on alms round or being the alms round itself.
no,
That's,
not the alms round itself. The alms round itself, usually it's said that pindaya charity, that one walks for alms.
Mhm.
I don't know, I don't remember a single word for the alms round, but you say one, maybe pindaya charity is like walking on alms round.
Mhm.
Yeah, the word for the bowl would be patta. Whoops, patta. Or Sanskrit would be patra.
Yeah, I just thought it's a little odd that the line would say the monk takes what they do carry is the monk takes robes and the container.
Yeah, the
Right.
bowl. Yeah.
So not quite. They don't take the food to the next town or
No,
anything.
no, no, no. But it's just an expression. Okay, now we come to
Okay.
the passage on sense restraint. I don't know, have we done, it seems to me that we've done this. Anyway, maybe for the, let me just check here whether we've done it in this particular semester. No. Okay, so I'll do it, even though we probably have done it maybe when we did earlier suttas. It doesn't hurt to go through again. Okay, so now 295. So chakuna rupang disva
So chakuna rupang disva
na nimita gahi hoti.
na nimitta gahi hoti.
And let's break this up so it's easier. Na anubhyanjana gahi.
Na anubhyanjana gahi.
Okay, so disva is having seen, and then having seen a visible form with the eye, then he, that is the monk, is not, we have the two expressions, nimita gahi and anubhyanjana gahi. So this is explained, the way the commentaries explain this. The nimitta is the general impression of the object, and the anubhyanjana are the details. And so usually it would be explained, or the sort of experience would be the monk going an alms round and he sees an attractive woman. And so if he just sort of grasps the general impression, an attractive woman, that would be nimitta gahi. The mind sort of grasps the general feature. Then he starts looking maybe at the hair, the eyes, the smile, the figure, and so on. That would be anubhyanjana, the details, the specific features. So he's one who doesn't grasp the general impression and doesn't grasp the specific features. Okay, then continuing. Let's break this up, resolve this. Yato adhikaranam
Yato adhikaranam
enang chakundriyang asangvutang viharantang
enang chakundriyang asangvutang viharantang
abhija domanasa papaka akusala dhamma
abhija domanasa papaka akusala dhamma
anvasaveyung
anvasa veyung
tassa sangvaraya patipajati
tassa sangvaraya patipajati
rakati chakundriyang
rakati chakundriyang
chakundriye sangvarang apajati.
chakundriye sangvarang apajati.
Okay, so yato here means since or because. And it seems this is a rather strange conjunction, yato together with adhikaranang, to form, because adhikaranang also has the meaning of cause or reason. Just wanted to see if the commentary resolved Anyway, so I would take it that simply take the two together in the sense of because or on account of. Okay, then we have Einang. Einang I take to be him, the same as Eitung. It's just a variant on Eitung. Him, referring to the monk, who's now cast in the accusative as the object of, maybe we should go to the subject of the sentence. The subject is abhijja domanassa. So abhijja domanassa is a compound. What kind of compound is this?
Dvanda compound?
Yeah, it's a dvanda compound. So it's abhijja is, we could say, craving, and domanassa is dejection. So we have craving and dejection, which are described as papaka kusala dhamma, bad, unwholesome states. Then we have the verb in the optative, it's the optative, anvasaveyung. Anybody know how to resolve this verb? Anybody want to take a try?
I only know part of it. I think it is derived from savati, flow, isn't it?
Right, yeah, that is correct. Then try the rest.
I don't know. Anu means along, stream along, but here it can't be along. It's probably it's streaming against him, isn't it?
Yeah, there are two prefixes here. One is anu, and the other is the long a, and then we have the verb, I guess it would be savati, savati, to flow, and then this is the optative plural, saveyung. And then when the prefixes get joined, the U by sandhi turns into a V. And you don't get we wouldn't get the meaning by sort of adding the main verb to adding the prefixes to the main verb, but you just have to get the sense of the way the verb is used. So I would say invade or flow into him. This is the monk who is dwelling. That's the present participle accusative object viharantang. He's dwelling, a sangvutang, unrestrained with respect to. So this is one object. And then the object of unrestrained is the chak undriya, which is the compound of chaku plus indriya. So when the two vowels meet, one of them drops out. In this case, it's the I drops out. What kind of compound is chakundriya?
Dvandva?
Tapurisa.
Wait, I heard two, but I didn't hear them clearly.
Dvandva?
No, not a dvanda.
Tapurisa.
Tapurisa. You would think, based on the English translation, that it seems like a tapurisa, but it isn't. Anybody else want to take a guess?
Bahubihi?
No, it's a kamadarya compound, because we have here two nouns which are not set in a case relationship. To be a tapurisa, they would have to be set in a case relationship, where the first member would be a case different from that of the second member. But here, the idea is that the I itself is the faculty. So it's the faculty that is the I, or the I that is a faculty. So this is a Kamadarya, which is composed of two nouns, in which one noun is a subset of the other noun, where the I is a subset of the indriyas, the faculties. But in translation, in English, we say often sometimes we might say the faculty of the I, or but if we use the I faculty, then I think the relationship is clearer. Okay, so now the first part of the sentence, the conditional part, is because craving and dejection, those bad, unwholesome states, would flow into him or would invade him if he is dwelling unrestrained over the I faculty, then we have the implicit, therefore, tassa sangvaraya patipajati. So therefore, he practices for the restraint of it. That is, he practices for the restraint of the I faculty. Then rakati chakundriyang, he guards the I faculty. And chakundriye sangvarang apajati, he acquires restraint in the I faculty, or restraint over the I faculty. Okay, so any questions here?
Yes, Bhante. The gahi in nimitta gahi, is this a noun or is it a present participle?
Yeah, I don't think gahi on its own is an independent noun, but I'm not sure what you call this part of speech, but it's used to create a noun. So it would be attached to another noun to create a compound. So of course, it's from the verb ganhati. And so from this, we get this, I don't know what the technical grammatical term for this is. It's a kind of suffix, gahin, one who grasps. And then I think it always occurs conjoined with another term. And in this case, it's nimitta. So yeah, so together we could say that it forms a noun, a one who grasps the sign.
Yeah.
Let me just
Thank
look.
you, Bhante.
Let me just look in the dictionary to see if it tells what kind of part of speech this is.
But didn't you said for similar words that it's called an agent noun?
No, it's not. I don't think we would call this an agent noun. The agent noun has the suffix ter, which will give the first person the masculine nominative ending ta. Let me just look in the dictionary. It just says gahin, grasping, taking up, striving after. And then it gives the examples where it occurs. Nimitta gahi, anubhyanjana gahi, adana gahi.
May I add something from Sanskrit?
Oh yeah, please, please.
The in suffix, it often means just possessing. But in this case, you would dissolve this compound by saying he whose nature, that in suffix would be taken in the sense of Shila, he who has the nature to grasp. So you would take the gaha and you would put it in the infinitive form of gahati. So he whose nature is to grasp.
Wait, you said the infinitive form.
Yeah, to dissolve this compound, to do the analysis of vigraha, you would take the in suffix and you would say like Shila Asya. So one whose nature, whose Shila is to grasp.
Okay, so Shila, continue.
Shila and then Asya would go after that.
Sila, I
So
didn't quite,
Shilam Asya, Shilam Asya.
I'm just trying to see if you could type in.
Oh,
I don't think that's possible.
I can maybe put it in the chat. How's that?
Okay, if you can do it, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know the infinitive for Ganhati off the top of my head.
It would be, let's, Ganhi Tung, I would think.
So Ganhi Tum.
Yeah.
Shilam Asya Iti. So yeah, it would be something like this. You would take whatever the infinitive of the verb is, and it would mean one who has the nature to
Okay,
do
now,
what the
okay.
verb does. And
I
yeah,
see.
it's kind of a cool form.
Yeah, okay. I see. So Sila in the use of the habit, yeah. And Asya is the same in Pali as Asa. So one whose habit is to grasp. Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so
sorry,
let's
Bhante.
please,
Is
please.
it, so is it like the words atapi and anupasi?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Bhante, is
Yeah.
Samvaraya instrumental?
Sangvaraya.
Right.
No, no. He practices for the restraint of it. So what case?
Dative.
Right, it's a dative case.
The tassa refers to the chakundriya, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. For the restraint of the eye faculty.
Okay, thank you.
Bhante, can I ask one more question about the compound? Because I think I'm still not getting it. Maybe because I'm bound up in the English way of thinking of it. But the faculty of the eye, or the eye faculty, is an adjectival relationship and not a case relationship. Is that right?
I wouldn't say that chaku is an adjective qualifying indriya, but there are two nouns in which the first noun, chaku, is a subset. The first noun is an instance of the second noun. So indriya is the general noun, and the indriya includes the eye. So the eye is one of the indriyas. And so it's the faculty which is the eye. Whereas in a tapurisa compound, let's take an example, tapurisa compound. See if we have one immediately visible. Okay, say Sila Kanda. In this case, we have an aggregate or a mass of Sila, of good conduct. Do you see the distinction?
I think so. And for like just above Indriya Sangvarena,
Oh yeah, Indriya Sangvara, this would be a Tapurisa compound. So it's restraint of the faculties.
right?
But in the
Because Indriya
case,
is not a Samvara, but a Chaku is an
yeah, exactly.
Indriya.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so following this, then we just have the same thing applied to the other sense modalities. So we don't have to read through each of the following sentences. We just come to the last sentence. So imina ariyena indriya sangvarena samanagato.
So imina aryena indriya sangvarena samanagato.
Ajatang abhyaseka sukang pati sangvedeti.
Ajatang abhyaseka sukhang pati sangvedati.
Okay, so in this case, possessed with this noble restraint of the sense faculties, he experiences internally. Now we have avyaseka sukhang. So this is the happiness of avyaseka, has something like the sense of non-adulteration. So the way it's translated, I've seen it translated in unadulterated happiness. Let me just see if the dictionary for vyaseka. Yes, so for the verb vyasenchati, the dictionary gives to defile, to corrupt, to tarnish. And vyaseka, it gives mixed. And then it says it occurs only in the negative as meaning unmixed, untarnished, undefiled. So vyaseka, it looks like a noun, but apparently here it's functioning like an adjective. Yeah, so I would render it as an undefiled or untarnished or unadulterated happiness or bliss. Okay, so possessing this noble restraint of the sense faculties, he experiences internally an unadulterated or undefiled bliss. Okay, so any questions on this passage? Okay, then we come the next section. This is the section on what's called sampajana or sampajanya. The sampajanya is, I translate it as clear comprehension, and it's based on the noun, on the verbal root nya, or the verb janati, to know, with two prefixes, sam and pa. Yeah, but even though it has those strong prefixes, but it doesn't indicate the higher wisdom. But you could see from the way it's explained that it indicates, like what I would say is knowing what one is doing as one is doing it, being clearly aware of what one is doing. And then we have it used in a compound, sampajana kari. So this is one, this could be understood actually in two ways, even according to the commentary. One who acts with clear comprehension in the various activities in which one is engaged, or one who practices clear comprehension in the various activities in which one is engaged. Okay, so we'll read together. So abhikante patikante sampajana kari hoti.
So abhikante, patikante, sampajana kari hoti.
So we could maybe translate this: one who acts. Then I should point out that abhikante and patikante and all of the other, or most of the other words that follow describing the actions are past participles. But the commentary, this would be the commentary to the Satipatthana Sutta, explains that these are past participles used to designate present action, not to indicate past action. I just want to try to find the commentary here. Yeah, it glosses abhikante with gamanang, with going, and patikante with nivatanang, that is returning. So the commentary glosses them with present participles. So it's not that you complete an action and then you have the clear comprehension of it, but while one is engaged in the action, one knows what one is doing. Okay, so in this case, and these are locatives, so one applies the clear comprehension to the action. So abhikante means going forward, and patikante is returning. So he is one who acts clearly comprehending in going forward and in returning. Then alokite vilokite sampajanakari hoti.
Alokite vilokite sampajanakari hoti.
So alokite is looking ahead, and vilokite is looking to the side. So he is one who acts clearly comprehending or fully aware in looking ahead and in looking to the side. Then saminjite pasarite sampajanakari hoti.
Saminjite pasarite sampajanakari hoti.
Yeah, so saminjita is bending in the limbs, the arms or the legs. And pasarite, or pasarita, is extending or stretching out the limbs. So he is one who acts clearly comprehending in bending and in stretching. Then Sangati Pata Chivara Dharane Sampajana Kari Hoti.
Sanghati pata chiva dharane sampajanakari hoti.
Yeah, the Sangati it's the double thick robe that one uses, especially when the weather gets cool, one will wrap it around to keep warm. Sometimes maybe we call it the cloak. the patta is the alms bowl, the chivara is the robe that one normally wears, and dharana can have the meaning either of wearing or carrying. So wearing would apply to the robes and carrying to the alms bowl. So in translation, you have to use two renderings for this. So we would say he is one who acts clearly comprehending in wearing the cloak and robe and in carrying the alms bowl. Okay, then the next we have asite, pite, kaite, saite.
Asite, pite, kayite, sayite.
Sampajana kari hoti.
Sampajanakari hoti.
So asite is eating. Pite or pita is drinking. Kaite is another word that means eating, but maybe to make it different, maybe we'll say chewing. And saita is tasting. And so he is one who acts clearly comprehending in the act of eating, drinking, chewing, and tasting. And next we have uchara pasava kame,
Uchara pasava kame.
sampajana kari hoti.
Sampajanakari hoti.
Okay, so uchara is defecation, pasava is urination, and kama is just the act. So in the act of defecation and urination, he is one who acts clearly comprehending. And then we have gatte tite nisine,
Gatte tite nisine.
sute jagarite,
Sute jagarite.
basite tuni bhave,
Basite tunhi bhave.
sampajana kari hoti.
Sampajanakari hoti.
So these are past participles indicating the postures. So again, the past participle should be taken to indicate a presently occurring action. So in going, in standing, in sitting down, then sute would normally mean in sleeping, but the way the commentary explains it, it's in going to sleep. Because when you fall asleep, then the sampajana is absent. So in going to sleep, then jagarite is in waking up. Then basite is in speaking, and tuni bhave is the silent state, the state of silence or keeping silent. So in all of those activities, sampajana kari hoti, he is one who acts clearly comprehending. Okay, so any questions about this?
Bhante, just to make sure, Sampajana Kari, is that the same structure like Nimittagahi? Only in this case derived from Karoti, or is it a different structure?
The structure seems similar, except that the relationship between the, call this the suffix or the second member and the first member is different. In the case of nimitta gahi, it means one who a grasper of the sign, a grasper of the features. And here the relationship seems to be different. An actor with clear comprehension. I want to see if the commentary explains the grammatical structure here. Let's just see. Well, the way it explains it, actually, it quotes the Vibhanga from the Abhidharma Pitaka. It says, Sato Sampajano Abhikamati, Sato Sampajano Pati Kamati. So the sense is mindful and clearly comprehending. One goes forth, mindful, clearly comprehending, one returns. So it doesn't explain the grammatical structure of Sampajanakari. Let me see if I could find it elsewhere. No, it just I think this is also useful from this is from the sub-commentary to the Digha Nikaya. Let me paste it in. And the way it's explained here is, oh, I see. Okay. You have to take the first part also. So for Sampajanakari, it explains one whose sila, in this case, the meaning of habit or practice, is the doing of whatever task is to be done by himself Oh, I see. Tena with that. So the doing of any task to be done by himself with that, that is with clear comprehension. So that is one way of understanding sampajanakari, the doing of any task with clear comprehension. And the other way of resolving it is that is for him, for the practitioner, there is the doing of clear comprehension. Yeah, so that is the way, the two alternative ways that the sub-commentary explains the relation of kari to sampajana, the doing of the task with clear comprehension or the doing of clear comprehension when engaged with those tasks. Okay,
Yes, thank you.
okay, what I'm going to do now, before we go to the next section, I'm going to stop the recording and let it convert the recording. So don't go away. I mean, please come back. Usually it takes about 7 to 10 minutes to convert the recording. So we'll treat this as the break, and then we'll continue a little bit more in this sutta, and then we'll do the Sutta Nipata.
But we have to log in again,
Yeah,
don't we?
you'll have to
Okay.
log in again.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Bante, one last question, please. Well, this state of Sampajanakari, does it happen naturally after I got my Indriya, or that's something I have to do with my cognition?
No, you have to do it intentionally.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
Hard. Thank you,
Okay.
Bante.
Okay. So don't run away. Just come back. Let us say it's 2:02 now. Say come back 2:12.